Hello and welcome to CambridgeStocks episode 2. Today we're speaking to a McKinsey alumni who's currently working as a producer and a partner at Human Films, a production company based in Moscow. Let's get it.
Hi everyone, my name is Pavel Feldman. I'm currently a producer and partner in a movie company called Human Films. We're specialized in producing movies, TV shows. That's one department. And the second department is specialized in producing short forms, which is basically TV ads, digital ads, music videos, this kind of stuff. I'm an ex-McKinsey consultant. I've been with the firm for over 2.5 years. Prior to that, I was a hedge fund manager. Well, basically it was a big data startup at first, which was purposefully created for becoming a hedge fund. I left New York, which is the startup was based and currently still based and up and running in 2016. Before that, I had previous experience in equity research, in media and construction, so various industries, I majored in during my master's degree from IE Business School in Madrid. I majored in management and in finance. I did the double degree program, and my bachelor I did in Moscow in Higher School of Economics, also a dual degree program with London School of Economics, and I majored in banking and finance.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning of the journey of your international journey when you moved to IE Business School. Can you tell us why you chose the school, why you chose the dual major?
Well, as I said, I did two degrees in my bachelor and my master's. So you kind of can say that I'm a dual degree guy. Well, first of all, why I chose IE Business School? Well, unpaid advertising of my alma mater. In 2012, I started thinking, I was graduating from Moscow University, Higher School of Economics in 2013. So late 2012 was already time for choosing the business school. I was super dedicated to going international to study masters abroad. I was not even considering not doing that, because some people tend to stay in Moscow and just go directly to start working, or they consider Moscow master's degrees. No, I wanted an international experience. I used to live abroad before. So I decided, I want international experience. I want to have fun, I want an international degree. Half of my classmates, they went to London, obviously. First of all, because of the connections with London University. Second of all, it's kind of an obvious choice. I didn't want to go to London specifically. And then I decided that I'm going to explore my options. Two reasons, to be honest, why I didn't want to go to London. One was, that was pretty mainstream. And I was thinking, if I go to London, I'm going to be having pretty much the same entourage. Like people I'm going to hang out are going to be, half of them are going to be my classmates. The second half will be Russians, other Russians that are not my classmates. That is one reason. The second reason is that at the age of 17, I got rejected by Cambridge. And I was furious about this. That was probably one of the first setbacks in my life, like a major setback, I remember myself going to Cambridge, all these 14th century campuses and whatever. And I thought that the interviews, they went well and I passed the test, but at the end I didn't get in. To be honest, from my stream, there were 2 people out of 400 people. Only 2 applicants got in. So it was such a setback, to be honest. But for me, when I was 17, it was a major thing that I didn't get in. So I was offended. I was offended by the British system of education. I didn't want to go there. So I decided, no, I'm not going to London. I'm not going to Great Britain. let's, discover options. What are the options? I was considering Europe, and Europe is pretty much, narrowed down to, I don't know, Switzerland, France, Germany. Yeah. But I mean, in 2012, everybody was navigating through rankings of business schools. And normally you look at Financial Times ranking, which is nowadays, everybody understands, is really controversial and very subjective. The first advice is, please do not look at this ranking, because the methodology of conducting this ranking is really subjective. It's affected by so many factors. So please just, sometimes you look at this ranking.
It's a little bit of a stab in the heart to the students of my school that I just graduated from.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Hull Business School was, let's not talk about Hull Business School in 2012. Yeah, but seriously, the rankings, during the times of 2012, the information was really inefficient. And it's not like everybody was having the same pieces of information. But yeah, obviously, when you look at the ranking, sometimes major schools like Cambridge are not in the top 5. And you're like, yeah, well, that's weird. But okay, IE Business School is very high in the rankings in all the programs they offer. So yeah, that was maybe that was the major reason why I started considering the school, because otherwise, how would I know?
Yeah, from the rankings.
Yeah, I had a couple of friends or ex-colleagues from IB that actually went to IE Business School. But what I did was that I went to Madrid to a special event where they were showing around, what are the campuses like, what are the professors, what are the methods, and it was sold in one day. I fell in love completely with the school. I fell in love with the city. I was more of a Barcelona guy. I went to a lot of summer schools to learn Spanish. One of the reasons why I wanted to go to Spain was that I was really fluent in Spanish, because I used to live in Uruguay for some time, and I learned Spanish there, and I was very attached to, speaking Spanish, to Spanish culture, but I never lived in Spain. I went to Spain thousands of times, but I was more of a Barcelona guy, as I said. And then I came to Madrid for a couple of days, and I visited the business school, and the open day at school was marvelous. It was really good. They practically showed what the life is going to be like. Not only the school life, but also the social life, which is as important as the education at school. I must say, for me, maybe it was even more important at that time. They conveyed a bunch of reasons why IE Business School. Their positioning is it's created around entrepreneurship. They claim that the IE Business School is specialized on entrepreneurs. So basically 20 or 25% of alumni become entrepreneurs. That was something that really, found a place in my heart, because I always wanted to become an entrepreneur at the end. And that was reason one, probably. The second one was diversity. And that's no bullshit. IE is a super diverse group of people.
Yeah.
For my first degree, the class was pretty small. I think it was 60 people. No, maybe more, maybe 80 people. We had around 50 nationalities. And when you go to a school like that and you find people from 50 countries around the world, that means practically that after 1 year of extensive drinking and going out, that means that you have friends around the globe. And number 3 was the method. So Harvard Business School, for example, top business school, they're focused on, it's 100% case method, how they teach during the course. Some of the schools most of the schools are about, very classical approach of lectures, seminars, all this kind of crap. I'm sorry. But IE, they found a balance, theory and case method, and they bought licenses from Harvard, and we were actually taught by, based on the Harvard Business School cases,
Yeah.
which are fun.
Well, I mean, we can relate as graduates from Halt. We can relate a lot to that method.
Yeah, it's a great method. Obviously also, IE Business School is a very rich school. It's an extremely rich school. It's private. The amenities, the facilities, perfect. The system is really good working, well organized. Everything is really well organized. So these are probably 4 reasons, I think. Well, actually 5. Number 5 is the faculty. The faculty is pretty impressive. Obviously, there are different professors. Some of them are probably not as advanced as, you would always like. But some of the professors, there was one guy, Maxim Mironov, for example. He's a PhD from Chicago Business School. But he's a major economist in the world. And I knew that this is the guy who's going to be, one of the faculty members. He was pretty amazing. So 5 reasons. First reason, entrepreneurship, diversity, faculty, the method, and the school itself, the facilities, the amenities. The major reason, which I didn't realize at that time, was what I call value for money, in this case.
Yep.
Is that IE is a pretty expensive school. It's maybe one of the most expensive schools in Europe. It's really expensive. But for that, you get Madrid life, which I couldn't realize at that time, obviously, when I came to Madrid for this open day. But for that, you have an amazing city, very well priced. It was 2014 was the year when I arrived, and it was, the peak of the crisis in Spain. It was super cheap, amazing apartments, amazing food, very good nightlife, for very good prices. Because for the same money you get, I don't know, St. Gallen in Switzerland, amazing school as well. But then you go to St. Gallen, first of all, it's a city like that. You have one bar there. And if you want to party, you go to what? Zurich. Yeah, okay. This is, I'm going to spend on bars 5 times what I'm going to spend in Madrid.
In Madrid, yeah.
The biggest advantage at the end that I realized was this, that it was a very good value for money. So Madrid is an amazing city to live, very well priced, very good city with very good people. Like it's far away from rest of the Europe, to be honest. It's really hard to travel. It's still like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours to get to Central Europe or to like Amsterdam or Paris. And it's far away from Russia. It's 4.5 hour flight. And it's pretty, annoying to fly like that. It's not like I had any other alternatives. When I went to this open day in IE, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm coming here. They were pretty straightforward about the requirements of getting in. GMAT, pretty, a medium level, around 660, I think was okay.
The GMAT requirements, I mean, this was what, 7 years ago, were lower than they are now.
Yeah.
And I mean, at IE Business School, I would imagine. Plus, you have a lot more business schools these days. And the choice is, I think the choice is more difficult nowadays, from what it sounds like, compared to because the number of options that you have is, there are schools that you don't even know exist, which will fit all of those criteria. So any advice for someone who is going into business school now, in terms of choosing it? Because from what it sounds like to me, it came down to the city in the end.
Yeah, and that's pretty much well, I think that's my personal opinion. You need to understand, when you go to business school is not a recruiting agency. There are maybe, I don't know what, 3, 5, maybe 7, 10 business schools in the world where you guys get in, and then the recruiters are coming on campus and targeting you guys because you are
The creme de la creme
of I don't know, Harvard Business School, Wharton Business School. And I have so many friends from Harvard, you know, and yeah, they were going through the same process. You know, they were looking for a job. They got interviews, they got rejected, they got offered jobs that they didn't like. At the end, they ended up obviously with something they like. But business school is not a recruiting agency. And you shouldn't choose the business school on the basis, yeah, okay, if I get into business school X, that
then I will
guarantees,
get the job as, yeah.
yeah, that's bullshit. That's never going to happen. The only one who guarantees the fact that you're going to get a good job is yourself. So you should really set your priorities straight. At the end, the best thing that you get out of the business school experience is your pretty much, you know, end of your youth, because that's the last irresponsible period of your life, because you have no job for a legal reason. You have lots of friends that you have so much in common because you go to class, you know, you go through the same processes. You have amazing relationships. So if I were you, if I were to go to business school now, if I decided, I don't know, to do an MBA, I really don't think I would choose Harvard or Wharton. I would really choose something, maybe London, if I wanted to experience something new. But I would really choose the city, the country, the city that I like. And I would really go into, you know, some intrinsic stuff conveyed by the business school values.
Yeah, I mean, even when you talked about the IE just earlier, you never mentioned their recruiters coming into the school.
No,
I've never heard you say that. So.
Obviously, we had a very nice career management center. We had recruiters coming over for events. You know, we had.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's not what you're choosing it based off at all.
Yeah, that was, you know, it's not. Some people actually found a job through career center, obviously, but it's not something that I remember now. What, 5 years after I graduated? No. I remember the city. I remember the people. We text every day with the same group of people. You know, these are my friends. Honestly, the main piece of advice: go choose the city that you're gonna enjoy living in, and try to find a place that at least conveys the type of people they're trying to recruit. You know, recruit in a business school way. The applicants that are going there. That's because the people at the end is going to be something that you are left with. And the emotions that you get during your business school is something that you're gonna remember, not the, I'm sorry, career events or whatever. No. And you're gonna find a job anyways.
I mean, yeah, if you want career events and to go there purely for, I don't know, like recruiters coming in, you'd probably want to study in a university instead of a business school, and you want to study something really specific.
That's never going to happen because, well, it's a different conversation about how to land a dream after the business school, whatever. We can even talk about this, but it has nothing to do with the choice of business school.
Yeah,
literally. The second question was why I chose management and finance. That's easy. I wanted a finance degree. I was going to work in investment banking or hedge fund management. But I already had CFA level 1, and I was pretty sure that this is hardly something new I can get in school. And
weren't you like one of the youngest people in Russia who got the Russian, I don't remember what the name of it is, like the Series 14 or something in Russia for securities?
Well, at the age of 15, in Russia, we have, the local SEC.
Yeah.
And want to work in investment banking or in this world, in this industry, you need to get, you know, the certificates, the licenses, basically. The brokerage license, brokerage, dealership, and asset management. Depository, brokerage and dealership, depository, and asset management. These are like the 3 major licenses. Yeah, and I was actually the youngest to get, well,
at the time.
And I got the 3 of them, and I was 15. And that's for sure, it's a legal fact that I'm the youngest one. because some years after they actually put a minimum age requirement of 18 years. But I was 15 when I got it. Yeah, so I was thinking, finance it's not like something they can teach me, a lot about this. And management, well, I was curious about management. I was never thinking consulting because, wow, how investment bankers are. Consulting job is something for someone who didn't get into investment banking yet. But yeah, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to study strategy, marketing, operations management, all this kind of stuff. So I took the first degree. They actually did a pretty cool thing. The dual degree is, the degree itself is 10 months, which was also cool for me. I was thinking, in 10 months, I'm getting a degree and then I'm coming back to Russia. How stupid I were. Because nobody wanted this to end, the masters. But if you want dual degree, you can do 6 months of management, and then instead of going to a third trimester doing specialization, your major
summer usually,
you just switch to another master degree and 10 months of finance. So that was pretty convenient. So
that actually sounds similar to the programs that we have at Help as well. So you do 10 months with a specialization, and then you do about 7 months of the second degree. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what you did afterwards. The first thing that you did, to my knowledge, is you went to New York.
Yeah, I went to New York. Well, one of the good things about business schools is networking. I met a very interesting, very cool guy, Eric, you know him. And he came, he's a pretty smart, very smart guy. He's, if you ask him what nationality he is, he says, I'm European. And that's a very, very fair answer of him. And he came up with a pretty cool idea. He was already invested in a startup, a big data startup, that was doing a unique technology of, using a technology of triangulation for various industries. They came up with their own algorithms and whatever. And he decided, so we're now financiers. So, and this is a pretty cool idea. And I'm pretty sure that's him saying that there is a space for applying this technology to find in finance. He pitched the idea to me and he said, you care to join? And I was like, well, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And we were 3 partners. The third partner was a very techy guy, very advanced in data science, very advanced in IT, much more than I am. So we came up with, a package of this idea of the use cases of how this can actually work. And we started raising funds, and we had the goal after graduating, maybe in 2 or 3 months, to make it to New York. And we actually did. Because we were raising funds for seed capital in order to run pilots with the data that we were sourcing from this company that he was invested in, and different other companies, because we expanded the idea so that we can have the seed capital for setting up in New York. Well, why New York? Obviously, it's a financial center of the world, but okay, London is the financial center of the world, to be honest. But New York
now yes, but at the time
first of all, at the time in 2015, I'm sorry, that's one. And two, London could be a financial center of the world, but it's so far away from being an IT technological center of the world. And New York, it was much more advanced. And we were 25 people in London are not talking to 25-year-olds, about giving them millions of dollars. No, you. What are you talking about, mate? Yeah, obviously New York is much more chill in terms of that. And we ended up in New York. We got our first office. We raised a pretty decent amount of money. And then, we started, creating use cases of the technology, proving the technology. We got 3 investors on board for the startup company. And then we started creating use cases and, track record for setting up the actual hedge fund. We did all the legal stuff, and then we started, meeting with prime brokers, with investment banks, with advisors. We got pretty solid advisors on board that were already hedge fund managers. Yeah, it was pretty dope.
How long did you stay there? Just over a year?
Under a year.
Just under a year. Do you mind talking about the reasons why you have returned, or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's no secret. That was a visa issue. Visa is a very complicated, working visa in the States.
In the States, yeah.
Yeah, it's always an issue for everyone. And there were not so many options for us, especially with me being Russian. There were pretty much 2 options. No, actually there was 1 option only. For the guys, there were 2 options: to get an O1 visa, which is basically a visa for people with extraordinary abilities. But the formal ways to show your extraordinary abilities are pretty strict. And at the time, we realized that the amount of time and effort that we're going to spend on showing our extraordinary abilities is going to be detrimental for the project, that we should probably pursue a different way. An E2 visa, which is basically visa for people setting up businesses in the States. And for the guys, there was no problem, because one of them was Swiss, the other one was German by passports. The 3 of us were Jews, obviously. And I was trapped. I was either to spend a ridiculous amount of time on proving my extraordinary abilities, and then getting this visa for 1 year only. And during the next year, after 1 year, I would have to prove them once again, as if during 12 months I would lose my
extraordinary abilities.
Yeah.
What is like an example of that?
Of extraordinary abilities. Yeah,
I mean, you're obviously not dancing ballet in front of them.
Yeah, no. It's O1 visa is all on the Department of State website, obviously. But there are things like, you should show some articles printed about yourself in a very respected mass media, like Forbes or whatever. You should be a judge or the member of the jury, in some of the internationally recognized competitions in your sphere. Yes, this kind of stuff. There were like 8 or 9 criteria. Every single one of them, it's pretty, challenging, because when you're working, I work for top firms in Russia, and I would never think that I need to, print an article about investment banking or something like that. I could have accomplished the criteria in 6 months, and then spend another 6 months for proving and getting the visa.
Yeah, but then you have to do it again the year after.
Yeah, that's true. But to be honest, the reason why I left was, there were 2 reasons. First, I realized that would be detrimental for the project. The investors would become nervous. What the hell is going on with your Russian partner on board? He cannot get a visa. He's illegal, yada, yada. The new investor is incoming, for the hedge fund, for flooding money for assets under management. They would be like, who the hell is this guy? Why are you guys not compliant with law? What the hell is this? And I really didn't want this to happen. And the second reason, I was pretty unhappy in New York. That's just not my city, probably. I know that the whole world is thinking, yeah, New York is the best city in the world. Yeah, you know.
I don't
I'm more
know. The
going to
first time
with.
the first time I've been to New York was just a week ago, and this is Corona time right now. We're still quarantined, just in case you're watching this video half a year later or a year later. So everything is closed, and everyone is working from home, so you don't get the same energy from the city as you expect. So besides the people who are running from the tube to their offices or from the subway to their offices, you basically only have tourists left and homeless people. And it's not I mean, it's not super inviting for me to go ahead and be like, yeah, I definitely want to work in the city starting 6 months from now. Like, I'm definitely going there. So I don't know what it was like when you went there, but yeah, it's not really inviting from what I've just seen.
Damn, that was horrible. I remember coming myself to New York. I remember myself coming to New York, and my birthday is 9/11. And I came just a couple of days before that, and I was celebrating my birthday alone. Well, not alone, obviously. I had partners there, and we were on very good terms. We were friends, still friends. And we're friends. I had friends in New York already there. Yeah, but still it was so frustrating, you know. Well, it's just, you know, no, I mean, New York is a great city, obviously. Some people say it's the greatest city in the world. It's just not my city. And I lived a pretty good life there. We had an office in Soho. I had my apartment in Soho, maybe 5-minute walking from there, you know. I mean, yeah, that was a pretty good life. But it just wasn't for me. Yeah, it's even though I'm a big city guy, but New York, you know, is very controversial. It's, you know, I didn't like the subway. The streets are pretty dirty. It's not. I don't feel safe in the streets. Garbage problems, you know, and like traffic jams. I don't know. It's like getting Moscow, but 15,000 kilometers from your home, you know. It's pretty much the same. It has all the disadvantages of the big city as Moscow, but it didn't have so many advantages for me in terms of personal life.
Okay, I think that is all the time we have for the first section. We'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll do part 2. We'll talk a bit about your McKinsey experience and human film.
Thank you for watching the podcast so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of the CambridgeStocks podcast.